Honorable Mayor and esteemed council members, I am Norman A. Carter, Jr. I reside at 2777 Nathaniel Way in Grayson, Georgia, which is part of Snellville, and I am Snellville proud. Last year, I stood before City Council shortly after the Juneteenth celebration of 2022 that occurred on city grounds to criticize what I saw and heard. Last year's event circumvented normal procedures for city events. When things went wrong, such as no porta potties, the city was blamed. Not only was the city blamed, but the entirety of City Council and the mayor were publicly called racist. This is not hearsay, I was there. At the council meeting on July 10th, 2023, many of you saw a slide presentation of the Juneteenth celebration on the town green. Unlike any Snellville-sponsored event, an entire segment of Snellville's population was excluded. Before and after the event in public meetings, you heard this was an event held in part to honor Black fathers.
We can't rest till the promise of equality is fulfilled for every one of us in every corner of this nation. That, to me, is the meaning of Juneteenth. That's what it's about. So let's make this very Juneteenth, tomorrow, the first that our nation will celebrate all together as one nation. A Juneteenth of action on many fronts. One of those is vaccinations. Tomorrow, the Vice President will be in Atlanta on a bus tour helping to spread the word like all of you have been doing on life-saving vaccines. And across the country this weekend, including here in Washington, people will be canvassing and hosting events in their communities, going door to door, encouraging vaccinations. We've built equity into the heart of the vaccination program from day one, but we still have more work to do to close the racial gap in vaccination rates. The more we can do that, the more we can save lives. Today also marks the 6th anniversary of the tragic deaths at Mother Emanuel Church in Charleston, South Carolina. A killer, motivated by hate, intending to start a race war in South Carolina. He joined his victims in a Bible study class. Then he took their lives in a house of worship. It's a reminder that our work to root out hate never ends, because hate only hides. It never fully goes away, it hides. And when you breathe oxygen under that rock, it comes out. That's what we must understand, that Juneteenth represents not only the commemoration of the end of slavery in America more than 150 years ago, but the ongoing work to have to bring true equity and racial justice into American society, which we can do. In short, this day doesn't just celebrate the past. It calls for action today. I wish all Americans a happy Juneteenth. I'm certainly in a moment, going to sign into law, making it a federal holiday. And I have to say to you, I've only been president for several months, but I think this will go down for me as one of the greatest honors I will have had as president, not because I did it, you did it, Democrats and Republicans. But it's an enormous, enormous honor.
Countrywide outrage if an event occurred on city property to honor white fathers. If anyone applauded that, they would have been labeled as racist. If the corollary is abhorrent, then the original proposition is equally abhorrent. Neither should be applauded by anyone. What is the purpose of Father's Day? Snellville leaders, this is a city where everybody is proud to be somebody. Pride cannot be based on specious innuendo that has no place in this building nor in this city. That has been done 2 consecutive years on Snellville's town green. Let's get some facts straight. The Emancipation Proclamation signed on January 1, 1863, freed 3.5 million slaves in the 10 states of the rebellion. It did not apply to Kentucky, Missouri, Maryland, and Delaware, which boasted about 500,000 slaves. June 19, 1865, only applied to Galveston, Texas. It marked the day they received the proclamation, snail mail. The remaining slaves were not freed until December 18, 1865, when the 13th Amendment went into effect. American History 101. American History 101. The Juneteenth national holiday was an ill-thought-out, rapid attempt to mollify loud but historically ignorant voices after the murder of George Floyd. This was not a Snellville-sponsored event. In this forum, you heard, "Look what I did," rather than "Look what we did." You heard, "I received a proclamation," when it should have been, "The city received a proclamation." Subtle, but telling.